Well, gentlemen, you've proven your worth and earned your spot in this competition. But in this final round, we're sending you home for 4 days to build an iconic weapon from history. Gentlemen, we want you to build this. The Napoleonic presentation Saber. Good luck. We will see you both in 4 days.
Good luck.
Game plan is to do twist Damascus. You'll be able to see a really nice wide pattern in the steel. When you're twisting a billet, there's the chance of over twisting it and twisting it in two. So I left it thick enough. So it's time for me to start heat treating and quench. Here's the moment of truth. Is it straight or not? No, it is not. That's horrible. It's crookeder than a dog's hind leg. My quench went horribly wrong. It's hard. It's just got a hell of a warp in it. I don't think I'm in trouble yet. I can still reheat treat. I'm ready to quench again. I really hope this time goes way better. Thank you, Lord. It's workable. There's a couple of little wiggles, but I think I've got enough room to grind him out. I've never leather wrapped a handle before. It actually came out better than I expected it to. I pulled the blade out of the acid and the edge came out really nice. Looking good. Now that I got it all finished up, it's time to sand it back and hope I win the $10,000. I'm feeling pretty good right now.
Got this chunk of 80 CRV2. Because of its length, I have a nice, comfortable handle to hold on to while I forge it. I'm just getting the basic shape and curve on it. Woo. So I take the blade out and I love it. It's perfectly straight. For my handle materials, I'm choosing hickory and bronze for the back plate. And for my guard, I'm choosing this nice piece of W2 steel. This is going to be that knuckle guard. In this case, I'm going to have it probably flare out just a little bit. I'm going to do a copper wire wrap. Copper wrap will also give a decent grip with the leather. Just got to do it real tight, and it will make it look aesthetically pleasing. Nice and pretty. I absolutely loved building this thing. I'm really happy with what I did.
Bladesmiths, welcome to our dynamic kill test. Henry, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, Henry, first up, this is a very light saber. Good job on that. It's easy to wield. Your handle construction, that gives me a better grip and retention on your blade. Now, your edge. Man, this cuts and performs very well. Overall, your saber, Henry, it will kill.
Thank you.
Brandon, your turn, sir. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Brandon. First up, the Frankenstein and his bride handle. The bronze you have here, actually is comfortable for my palm, but your blade is offset from the longes here, tilted to the side, so that every time I'm slashing with this, with the added weight you have, because you have a thicker blade here, it tends to roll a little bit every time I strike. But overall, your weapon, it will kill.
Best words ever.
All right, gentlemen, it's time for our dynamic strength test, the watermelon and skull chop. Henry, you're up first. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think I made a mess. All right, Henry, way to go nailing the weight on this blade. Scale on the handle, really well done. Got plenty of room for my hand. There's one little spot that there's a teeny little roll that I can snap my fingernail against, but other than that, definitely a cutter. Good job.
Thank you.
Brandon, you ready?
Yes, sir.
That's terrible. So, a couple things going on. Grain's pretty big. I mean, you can probably see it sparkling from there. The other thing is there are multiple dark spots where the blade broke. So it tells me that there were a lot of micro fractures. May have been quenched too hot, maybe not thermocycled quite enough to bring that grain size down. But, yeah, I mean.
Well, Brandon, you gave us an absolute slicer, but unfortunately the stress from the strength test did prove to be too much. Your blade is now in pieces, and we consider that a catastrophic failure. We cannot continue testing your blade. I want to say thank you for coming out, but your time in this competition has ended. I'm gonna have to ask you to please step off the forge floor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's bittersweet. Well, I think my main problem happened within my quench itself, but Henry came out with an amazing blade. Whole experience here has been awesome. It's been uplifting, and at no point in time do I regret any of it.
Well, Henry, the last man standing, congratulations. You are the Forge and Fire champion. You'll be receiving a check for $10,000, bud. Good job. How do you feel?
Surprised.
It's a beautiful piece. It performed well, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's pretty exciting. It really hadn't sunk all the way in yet, but I feel like my blade performed really well. The feedback I've got was great on the blade, and I'm proud of what I turned in. I'm Henry Walker. I'm a Forged and Fire champion. That feels great.
I'm Travis Roby. I'm 50 years old. I'm a truck driver by day and bladesmith by night. I love bladesmithing because I can go out to the garage and I get in a zone. Just focus on what I'm doing. It's nice to see something that you create come out of the steel and last forever.
My name is Cameron LaFrance. I am 20 years old from Warner Robins, Georgia. I got into metalworks thanks to my father. He early on was saying I'd be a welder or someone who plays with fire. It's really what sparked, no pun intended, my drive for working with metal and fire.
My name is Mike Powell. I'm from Hastings, Florida. I make blades as often as I can, usually a couple hours in the morning before work, and then as much time as my wife will let me on the weekend. She sacrifices a lot of our one-on-one time for me to be in my shop making blades. If I win the 10K, I'm gonna get my wife something nice that we can enjoy together.
Bladesmiths, welcome to the Forge. You guys see we've got a bunch of different tools in here, and I want you to each use at least 2 of them to source your steel for your blades. We've got hammers, we've got chainsaws, we've got bandsaws, monkey wrenches, you name it. With whatever tools you guys choose, I want you each to create a pry bar knife, which means one end needs to be wedged and work as a functioning pry bar. You need to be set up for a full tang, and we want to have a blade that measures between 11 and 13 inches. Keep your eyes on the clock, do your absolute best work. You will only have 3 hours in round 1 of the competition, and that time starts now.
Right off the bat, my game plan is to get a hold of those bandsaw blades. I know I want to make a canister, and I don't want to try to put any thick, heavy tool steel or the hammers or any of those bits into the can. I wanted that thin material that I could get in there with that powder. First thing is get whiteout in that can and let that whiteout start drying so that I know my can's going to separate. I absolutely have no intention on leaving that on there.
So I'm looking at the steel, and it's some good, some bad, but I see the bandsaw blade and the handsaw. I know for a fact that that's hardenable steel. I look over at the crate, and I see some pipe wrenches. So I decided to switch over to the pipe jaws and using the leftover of that handsaw. I plan to do a layered Damascus billet. I'm going to go ahead and put the bandsaw blades in the center core where my edge is going to be, to make sure I got more than enough for this blade.
As I'm looking to see what's left, I decided to go with the handsaw and files and make a canister Damascus. I'm gonna take it casual, and that's my plan, just slow and easy.
I have to get this can off of this billet. So I take it over to the chop saw, and I'm gonna cut the ends off so I can actually see the seams.
Let's see here.
I find the seams. Luckily, this thing actually starts peeling.
There we go, Mike. Finally.
I've got enough of this can off that I think I can take this thing to the grinder now and grind what's left off of there.
As it's in the forge, I'm thinking, man, if I put it in the press, I can see it separate a little bit. Maybe I can get the press to help me.
I think you got some of it peeled.
So for my design, I want something that's going to have a nice strong spine. I need the edge on the tip for prying and something that's not too thin for chopping. So I've cut the tip off. I'm starting to forge in the bevels. It's got an angle so that you can wedge in and pry with it.
So I get out my ruler and I'm measuring my blade up, and as I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe 1.5 inches short. I'm in trouble. I've got to stretch this thing out. So the hammer I'm using I brought is called a flatter, and it keeps things flat. Instead of running over to the post vise, give it a couple whacks. I've used it time and again at home, and it works fantastic. Before quench, I'm at 11 1/4. Not a lot of room, but it's there.
I'm going to get this blade quenched.
I like the sound of that.
I'll take this thing to the grinder. I'm going to get as much done as I can before that clock hits 0.
I got my blade to length, and I got my handle sorted out enough, and so I get ready for my quench.
Nope.
As I'm trying to skate the file, I feel it digging, so I go in for a second quench. I got a lot of voices in my head that tell me not to do this, but I've got to get a hard blade. It's not skating. Third time's a charm.
Oh, boy.
That's bad.
I'm starting to think, did I choose the right steel? Against better judgment, go for third quench. And this time it skates a little better than before.
That's just gonna have to work.
The judges want a pry bar knife, so I'm going for a cleaver type blade with a flat end on that 90-degree corner, and I'll be good. I get it up to temperature, I get it in the quench. I don't hear any cracks, I don't hear any pings, I'm good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn off your machines, put down your tools. Round 1 is over. Well, guys, congratulations. The 3 of you are moving forward into round 2 of our competition, where you'll fix any issues you guys have with your blades and add handles, turning them into fully functioning knives. Now, unfortunately for you guys, other than pin stock, the pantry is off limits. But the good news is, somebody left me a chainsaw. All right, gentlemen, this log here is the only material you guys have available. You guys have 2 hours in round 2 to complete your handles, and that time starts now.
First thing in round 2 that I'm gonna do is get my handle scales established. So I take my chisel and start beating the ever-living crap in the center of the log. Finally, pop.
Finally.
My plan is to split the wood as much as I can without having to grind too much.
You know, it's interesting. Travis is trying to use a chisel to break up the piece that he has.
They look like pretty good little scales already.
I've got my scales cut. I'm trying to drill these holes. I'm still having no luck at this press. Doesn't want to cut at all. Son of a bitch, man. I don't want to mess around with this thing, so I'm like, well, I'll sharpen this bit. I do it at home all the time. I get back to the press, the bit cuts right through like butter, no problem.
Hallelujah.
Problem solved, just like that.
Yes. Now that I got both my scales, I'm gonna fit up my handle. I'm praying with each tap that it does not crack. One thing done, time for the next.
So I put the epoxy on the first scale. I'm lined up, and I pick up the other scale, and automatically I grab it, swipe with some epoxy. Oh crap, I'm on the wrong side. Oh, this could be all bad. I take everything to the grinder, and I just clean it up. The glue's off the handle, and now I'm just gonna put this thing back together and get it together right. I'm looking at that delamination right at the end of the tip, and I know that it's gonna be tight. I can't grind too much. I have less than a ½ inch of room. I cannot go below parameters. I have got to get this blade just right. Get rid of that. I refuse to go home on parameters.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gentlemen, turn off your machines, put down your tools. Round 2 is officially over.
Bladesmiths, welcome to our strength test. Our ladder, pry, and chop. I'm going to take your blades, drive them under these metal plates, and try to pry them off. Then after that, I might just beat the hell out of the ladder for a while. How's that sound?
Absolutely.
Go
Don't
for it.
act so thrilled. Remember, you signed up for this. Mike, you're up first. You ready to go?
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right, let's go. Mike, you survived. Good job. Biggest problem I had, though, was this tip. It didn't come to like a chisel point or anything like that, so it's harder to drive it under that plate. Handle's a little lean, but it's not uncomfortable. And everything's still together and tight. Good job.
Thank you.
Cameron?
Oh. I'm sorry. I saw you look dead in my eyes. It scared the crap out of me. I'm sorry.
All right, Cameron, you survived. Good job. This isn't ground down to a zero edge or even close, so it was a little trouble driving it in, but once I got it under there, that plate popped right off, no problem. Your edge is still good. Good work.
Thank you very much. Your turn, buddy.
He looks thrilled.
Not good.
Okay, Travis, you never know what's gonna happen in these competitions. That was the last thing I expected. Your blade held up great, no problem there, but your handle scales came off. You could see that the male threads aren't even coming about halfway through. You might have had a thread holding each one, that's about it. And that's why your handle came apart.
Travis, you were able to fix the issues with the blade after round 1, but unfortunately your handles fell off during the testing phase. And unfortunately, that makes the tool no longer testable. And for that reason, we're gonna have to ask you to please leave the forge.
Thank you, Travis.
Well done.
Thank
man.
you.
Good job.
Good work, Travis.
Thank you.
Good fight.
I'm disappointed in myself. I should have known better. I'll just go home and get back to the forge and keep on doing what I love to do. I made it this far. I made a solid blade. I'm happy. I'll be all right.